Samsung adds a little bit more size to their 10-inch tablet offering in order to bring you a better experience all around. So, it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority, and this is your first look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S 10.5. There are ultimately a few elements to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S line of tablets that have been announced today that really kind of stand out. Yes, it is the display, but it's also a little bit in the design and also the robust accessories suite that you will be getting with at least the Tab S 10.5. But first, let's talk about the design, where the signature Samsung style comes back again. On the front is the button layout we're used to, with the physical home button that now has an integrated finger scanner, flanked by the recent apps and back keys. Compared to the Tab Pro 10.1, the big noticeable difference here is the narrower bezel all around, which may have been needed in order to justify the slightly larger screen. Now, while it does allow for a more compact device all around, especially at this size, the handling may be hindered a little bit because when you're using this big tablet in landscape mode, you don't really have a whole lot of room to be able to rest your thumb and grip the entire tablet. But turning over to the back, you get the same textured plastic with a perforated dimple design rather, that is found on the Galaxy S5 already, and even the look of the rear camera slightly mimics the smartphone. You do also get the dual stereo speaker setup with one on the right side and one on the left, though on the right side you have the micro SD card slot, the SIM tray for LTE variants, and also the micro USB charging port. Speaking of the size, at just 6.6 millimeters thick and weighing at around 465 grams, the Tab S 10.5 has a handling experience that is a little bit better than what we've seen from previous 10-inch Samsung tablets, but it is also sort of getting more in line with what we have come to expect from, let's say, the Sony Xperia Z2 tablet. And of course, the marquee feature here is the new display technology that is being used on the tablet line. The Galaxy Tab S line now features AMOLED displays, and in this 10.5-inch screen you get a resolution of 2560 by 1600, resulting in a pixel density of 288 pixels per inch. AMOLED display tech brings all the vibrant colors, brightness, saturation, and the punch-you-in-the-face nature that we've come to love about flagship Samsung smartphones, and it looks even better when you blow it up into this larger display. You don't really need too much of convincing to see that AMOLED has a difference from previous LCD-based screens, as you can see in this comparison that was actually set up for us to see the difference, where AMOLED has higher contrast and deeper blacks compared to, in this case, a TFT LCD display. So anything you do on these displays will be a lot of fun, be it surfing the web, watching videos, playing games, but in the case of Samsung, they do realize that tablet usage is very much a media consumption experience, and that's what they're trying to enhance with these new displays. Performance shouldn't be an issue because you're going to get the best that Samsung can offer in these tablets already with the Exynos 5 Octa processing package, at least in the Wi-Fi only version, but there are going to be LTE variants of these two tablets, so we wouldn't be surprised if it came with a Qualcomm Snapdragon perhaps 801 processor. Either way, you're going to get the Adreno 330 GPU and 3GB of RAM, so these tablets should easily be able to handle everything from web browsing to gaming to video viewing. However, when it comes to the built-in storage, it can be further expanded with micro SD cards of up to 128GB of capacity. And finally, the Tab S 10.5 packs a 7900 mAh battery, slightly smaller than the battery of the Tab Pro 10.1, but should still offer a comparable and at least equally impressive battery life. And with power saving features on, you should be able to get a lot of time out of this outstanding tablet. As we move straight into software, we have basically what was already first introduced in the Tab Pro and Note Pro line of tablets, with the Magazine UX adding itself onto the TouchWiz suite. Now, essentially, we'll get to a Magazine UX, but TouchWiz remains TouchWiz, even with the slightly flatter elements all around and the new circle-centric areas in the notification dropdown and in the settings menus. You still have basically that very uber colorful, slightly bloated look in TouchWiz, but it is still ultimately very functional, especially when you consider various features like the multi-window, which will allow you to use more than one application at once. The Magazine UX, on the other hand, is a nicely formatted grid format that does allow you to get quite a bit of information at a glance, but as you start to dive deeper into the sources, you'll find that you need to get through a bunch of clicks just to get to what you really need to, as the Magazine UX is basically a front end for the Flipboard, which makes it a little bit less robust as we would have expected originally in the Tab Pro, Note Pro, and now in the Tab S line. And finally, a more than honorary mention should be given to the accessories that you can use with at least the Tab S 10.5. Now, the Tab S 8.4 does come with a snap cover, and you'll notice on the back that there are two dimples in which you'll be able to snap in the plastic that allows the covers to stay on. But the cases and actually the keyboard of the Tab S 10.5 are the ones that I feel should be mentioned because they are much more robust and provide more functionality rather than just covering the screen. For example, this particular smart cover will allow you to cover up the actual tablet altogether, but you'll be able to fold it back in a few different ways in order to get a better handling experience when it's laying on the table. And then here's a look at the keyboard. It is a Bluetooth keyboard, so it does not attach to the actual tablet, but you are able to lock it at the top with a little clip that will allow you to have the keyboard and the tablet easily transportable together. But when you're using the tablet upright, it does not latch into the actual keyboard itself. We'll have more on these particular cases in a video coming up very soon as I cover the actual event, so stay tuned for those. And remember that Android Authority is your source for all things Android, so stay tuned here for further coverage of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S line newly unveiled today.